A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Yeah, soccer's up first. Ole, 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 ole.
Ole, 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 ole.
Right, Jordan?
I have no idea what's going on.
This is your fault.
It's soccer.
Goal!
Today there were two, I forget which ones, but there were two European teams playing at Ohio State University today.
That's crazy.
I don't know
During
which
the
ones.
Olympics, no less? For shame.
True. The Olympics are going on right now.
We
You're
can't
not
talk
allowed,
about them. It's an internet controversy.
You're not allowed. Well, yeah. But you're not allowed to play sports when the Olympics are happening. Everyone has to stop globally.
No
Everyone...
sports.
It's because...
Except DCI.
It's because the Olympics are in France.
That is the main source of the controversy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think it's just that it's France is the controversy. Like, the world would be better if that country wasn't on the map.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Very true.
Precisely. But regardless of things outside of D&D happening right now, we're not done yet. We're
still going.
Unfortunately, we're not
this.
done yet.
So won't let me eat till we're done.
Yeah, we are on the tail end. If anyone's tired of hearing us ramble on about this at this point,
no,
we have Sorcerer and Bard left, and then we're gonna be doing new like feats and backgrounds and stuff.
And what are they calling it now? Species?
Yeah, and that as well.
That kind of makes sense.
Was it species or ancestries? I can't recall. One is Pathfinder.
I believe Ancestries is Pathfinder.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got my gears twisted there, but anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
But yeah, so we're starting off with Sorcerer because it came out after Cleric, and we left off on Cleric.
Soccer.
Woo, soccer.
So yes, now we are on the highly esteemed Soccer, the worst in, I think, all of our opinions, and many people who play D&D, although probably not everyone. But I think it's majorly agreed upon that Sorcerers are probably the worst caster, just in terms of how they are limited by, various things such as metamagic not being that good really, even though it is a cool concept, and unlike literally every other caster, only being able to prepare their spells each level up.
Hey, we don't prepare spells every level up.
They learn spells.
You not even. You get to exchange one spell that you know with a different one per level up.
Precisely.
No, sorcerers don't learn anything. That's the entire point of the class.
So, with all of that being said, those are like probably some of the most well-known grievances about Sorcerer. So let's see if they changed any of it to make it better or worse with this 5.5 revision.
The way I view it with Sorcerer is like, it's hard. It's not so bad just because it is a full caster. So already it's better.
It does get elevated above many classes just for the fact that it's a full caster. It does get that. But out of all the full casters, I think it is the worst.
Probably. It becomes hard for
at least in base 5e.
Yeah.
Don't know about this.
The bad hit die, but it gets fewer spells and it can't change them out like Wizard can. It has some extra features. It depends on the subclass you take because some subclasses can really change the game for the Sorcerer.
I would be more accepting of I would be more accepting of the spell thing if it was you can swap out like a number of spells equal to your spellcasting modifier or something
Oh,
like that instead of
yes.
just one
That would
per
make more
level.
sense because the one makes sense for a wizard because you're like
Yep.
physically learning and writing down the spells. But I mean, if you're a sorcerer, it
And
should be more in
also,
tune with that.
I don't think it should be you swap them out. I think it should just be you learn new ones and keep them because that you're a sorcerer. Like
Yeah.
why do you lose the magic you previously had? Isn't the whole thing that it's like ingrained in your
because
genetics?
they didn't study,
Mm.
Levi.
So I think that
Okay.
should be like a thing they get to is you just
Yeah.
keep it.
People talk about it a lot as well. Sorcerers have a difficult home life just because they're kind of split between warlock and sorcerer in terms of
Mommy and
fantasy
daddy
fulfillment.
at Wizards of the Coast can't decide what they want their child's career path to be, and so they argue over it constantly and
So what
ruin
they
their life.
did is they gave 2 kids one career path and
Yeah.
said, "Let's see what happens." They gave
Mhm.
a warlock all the cool stuff, and they gave the sorcerer some spells.
Yep. So,
Let's see what they did.
enough chatting about previous sorcerer. Let's talk about new sorcerer.
Ooh,
Hopes. The only thing I can hope is that metamagic is good now. Really
that's
good.
Let's
kind of
see.
where I'm coming from. I hope they fixed it.
So since Pertuset is now our resident sorcerer, we haven't talked about it much,
Yeah.
but we are playing a brand new campaign now. We have been doing it for a couple months now, actually, but Pertuset is our resident sorcerer in that
Yeah.
campaign. So I think he should start us off with spellcasting at level 1.
Okay. Sorcerer spellcasting feature grants you more spells and flexibility. All right. Well, I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it. First,
See it when I believe
everybody
it.
prepares spells now, but this changes the stylistic one for the sorcerer. You still edit your spell list when you level up and can only change one spell on your list at a time. Okay.
Thanks.
Huh.
Already red
That
flag.
was fast.
Unchanged.
Yeah. The most significant change to spellcasting, or not all caps, but capital S, for sorcerers, capital S, in 2024 Player's Handbook is they can prepare more spells than their 2014 counterparts could learn. In fact, once they reach level 3, sorcerers now prepare just as many spells as Druid, Bard, Cleric, and Wizard. Okay.
That
And you can
doesn't
change one cantrip when you level up.
Sure. I
Wizards. That doesn't make them better if you're just evening out the playing field with every other class previously. That you're just putting them where they should have
They're
been.
just you're just making stop.
Dungeons and Dragons, or like Wizards of the Coast D&D, have written themselves into a bit of a corner by making magic so cool that you don't need a class so long as you can do magic.
Hmm.
Like, the
Mhm.
sorcerer is if you basically don't have a class, but you get magic.
Yep.
The wizard is kind of also like that, but they can enhance their spells a bit more. They just have more spells.
Yep.
And I don't know what you even do about that because spells make or break the games now. The spells can
Mhm.
do everything the other classes do.
Mhm.
Mhm. And they proved that with how they did Ranger.
And
Because
Paladin.
they just
Sure, and
replaced
Paladin.
Are
class
they
features
gonna
with spells.
release an entire like here's all the new spells as well?
Hopefully.
Oh, I
I-
hope
Because that's
so.
something
wait
we'll
till the
also
book
need
I
to
comes
think
go
out.
they've
over.
done that through videos, but I don't
Have they?
know.
They
Well,
might,
well,
considering
I
who
think
did
they've also
explain how
done
they
these
release
through
them.
videos as well. They've also done the
yes,
classes, so I
but-
would
yes.
assume eventually they're gonna. So that's something you can all look forward to. Is we'll probably do a video on that too.
That's
Okay,
gonna be
well,
so many parts if we go through all the spells, guys.
we'll try to just go through what's different. Hopefully, some Redditor out there will compile a list of every change.
The worst stuff.
Reddit,
We'll just go through the
Goggalore.
Do your
highlights.
thing.
I'm waiting on you,
Goggalore!
Goggalore.
I
Anyway,
wonder how Goggalor's doing.
he's dead. That's spellcasting. Who wants to tackle innate sorcery? Or am I doing all of it?
I'll do innate sorcery.
Okay.
So also at level 1, magic is in your blood, and some of your enemies may have to learn that the hard way.
What does that mean?
So scary.
What does that mean?
I am going to have with
Yeah.
innate sorcery, you can use your bonus action to surge in magical power for 1 minute. During that time, your spell save DC for sorcerer spells increases by 1. That's all right. And you have advantage on attack rolls for sorcerer spells. That's pretty nice. You can
Yeah.
use this feature twice per long rest.
So they made the sorcerer into the barbarian. for
Yes,
magic.
they
Yeah.
made
The
Magic
barbarian
Barbarian.
caster.
It's a nice
Yeah.
feature.
That's rage.
It's interesting. but-
take
It's
it,
like a
but-
small little buff.
It's rage. It's magic rage.
Yeah. But unlike Magic Rage, based off of what the level 1 says, at least, you don't have to hit someone or get hit to keep it going.
No, it's a slightly different, but it's
Yeah.
basically magic raid.
I'm sitting on the fence about this because it seems very minute the higher you get in level. Well, advantage is always really nice to have no matter what level you're
But
at.
there's also
Yeah.
stuff later on about it. Which
Okay,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I was. That's what I was
I
about to
don't
say.
know that
Is
it's going
I
to
want
change
to
very
see this
much.
expanded upon.
I do too, because right now what I'm looking at is I feel like the DC increases by 1 isn't as functional rules as written, but it's more functional the way that we play spell save DC.
True.
So I'm wondering how they're going to make that actually functional when you play the game, how you're supposed to play the game and not fix it for your own home table.
But I mean, as we always say with like damage, I mean, numbers are numbers, and increased by 1 could mean the difference between a save and a fail.
True.
On a saving throw, so that's always nice to have. But that's the feature as it stands now at level 1. So, who wants to tackle the sorcerer thing?
Meta Geek.
I'll read Metamagic. Metamagic, the Sorcerer's trademark feature, has seen some upgrades. Now you
Okay.
get this feature at level 2 instead of 3, and you learn
Alright.
2 additional magic options at level 10 and 17 instead of 1.
Okay.
You can also change one metamagic option when you level up. It's kind of cool. Additionally, the 2 optional metamagic options introduced in Tasha's have now been incorporated into the core class because we don't need Tasha's anymore.
I love Tasha.
6 of the 10 metamagic options were tweaked. If you don't see a metamagic option on the list below, it remains unchanged from the 2014 Player's Handbook. I cannot read. All right, first we got Careful Spell. Now protects your allies from taking half damage on a successful save. Next time your barbarian is surrounded, throw a fireball at their feet without fear of harming your friend. So that's the wizard feature.
No, it's the evocation wizard feature
Yes.
specifically.
Yeah.
All sorcerers get this.
So that's cool.
Extended Spell, you now also have advantage on saving throws made to maintain concentration on effects affected by this metamagic. Okay. Heightened Spell costs 2 sorcery points now instead of 3. Now also affects all subsequent saves a target has to make against the heightened spell. Hello, my old friends, Hold Person and Slow.
Honestly, that's how it should have been when the game came out.
You would
Well,
think. Seeking Spell costs 1 sorcery point instead of 2. You can still use this metamagic option even if you were using another one at the same spell.
I don't remember what half these do.
I don't either.
the
I
first
I'm
place.
looking.
Let
feel
me
like
open it up.
Seeking Spell, does that make the...
Here,
It
I'll
doesn't
pull
give
it
you
up.
advantage, does it?
Seeking Spell, you reroll the d20 and must use the new roll. So it's actually
So
a
it's
worse
luck.
advantage.
Gotcha. And then Subtle Spell now allows you to ignore material components as well, as long as the material components do not have a cost specification and are not consumed by the spell.
So the way it should have worked in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a whatever to me.
Yeah.
Twin Spell, this metamagic option has now been reconfigured. Now Twin Spell applies to spells that can be upcast to target an additional creature such as banishment, increases a spell's effect by one level. Okay. It also only costs 1 sorcery point. So for example, if you are level 7, you can't cast banishment at 5th level slot necessary to target another creature. You can cast it at 4th level and spend 1 sorcery point. That's not how Twin Spell works.
They nerfed Twin Spell
Twin
because
Spell got super nerfed.
Not how
Yeah.
Twin Spell works.
It is entirely changed. Honestly, it should have just been renamed because it's very confusing that it's called Twin Spell because it does not twin the spell now.
No.
It's like a slight buff to the spell. It's like an upcast.
I'm not mad at the thing, but I'm mad that it replaced the original because that's not what that does.
Yeah,
Fire
no.
Twin Spell.
They should have named it like Empowered Spell or
Mhm.
something
They already
like
have
that.
that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Dang.
Because I
don't
mean,
know,
I
man.
dig
Oh
it
yeah, there it is. I'm
conceptually.
looking at it right now. Dang.
That's cool that you can spend your sorcery points to upcast. That's not twin.
But it's not even for upcasting, really. It's for upcast if the upcast would result in targeting another creature, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
sorry,
can't do
I'm
it for, like,
fixing it in my
fireball.
brain. You should be able to spend your sorcery points to upcast your spells.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But like, you couldn't do it for like fireball. But banishment is like when you upcast target another creature, so you can. But fireball is just increased damage.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to do it on fireball.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
kind
Or
of
any AoE for that matter.
It is strangely worded and should have been separate from Twin Spell, I think. And
Yeah.
Twin Spell
True.
should have remained because
I
Twin Spell
understand
is
it.
the best meta magic.
Yes,
It
it's the only one that's
is.
worth it, except for maybe Subtle Spell.
Oh, I do think they did give some okay buffs to some of the other ones.
Seeking Spell being 1 cost is good.
Yeah.
Still a risk though.
And well, you can just keep re-rolling though with
Yeah.
it because it says you can use this meta magic option even if you are using another one on that same spell. So you can just keep doing it until you either run out of sorcery points or hit.
Yeah. The material components thing, me.
Yeah,
Depends on
that-
how
the-
hard you play by that.
My question is who's
Yeah.
using material component rules without cost anyway?
That's what I'm thinking.
You
I
have a
mean,
spell
some
pouch. You have a
people- yeah, some
components pouch
people do-
that's-
Well, if you have a pouch, you're still technically supposed to, like, your character's supposed to pull stuff out of it and, like, use them. But
But-
you can also just be like, I have a spell casting focus,
Yeah,
That's like
the majority
a
of
gem.
people do that.
and I just hold that in the
Anyways.
palm of my hand and, like, close my hand around it so people can't see it. Like, oh. Okay. I mean, I don't
It's
like Twin
alright.
Spell. Everything else is like, okay,
It's
sure.
fine.
I definitely don't think it's good enough.
I'm mad about the next change.
Ah. Taryn,
Soccer subclass.
if you would.
Sorcerers now get their subclass at level 3 instead of level 1.
If you're born with the magic, why do you not have your subclass at level 1?
I
Mhm.
didn't
Because
realize
everyone
my
else
dad was
gets
a
their
dragon
subclass
until I
level
was level 3.
Because
It's
everyone
so
else gets their
stupid.
subclass at level 3.
I don't
It's so
care.
stupid.
Not
It's
everybody
so
should get their
dumb.
subclass
I
at level
do
3.
think it's quite humorous, though, to be like, I'm a wild magic sorcerer whose magic has been completely stable and fine up until this
until
point,
now.
and now
Yeah.
suddenly I am
now
blowing
it
up.
explodes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
one of those
stupid.
things. Until you hit level 3, you don't know who your dad is. Therefore, you don't know if your magic is volatile or not, or draconic or not.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
that's how that
sorcerer, that's a
works.
very dumb change.
It's a very dumb change.
Probably
and
the
I,
worst.
I
Tough
have that
between it
opinion
and-
for most of the subclass changes because I feel like most of the subclasses being at the levels that they were for a reason.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
just a bad change overall.
It
Not
wasn't
everybody needs to get it at
really-
the same time.
Like, I don't think I ever heard anyone really complain about where the subclasses were in base 5e. They were all between
No.
levels 1 and 3, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, no, everyone didn't get them at the same time, but you got them relatively at similar times to each other. It wasn't that big of an issue.
And then
This is another
everything
one of
preceding
those-
was the same. Like,
Yeah.
This is another one of those things they're doing in an attempt to curb multi-classing because they're like, guys, everybody's taking level 1 and level 2 dips into Wizard, Sorcerer, and Warlock,
Mm.
obviously. So we can't do that. Instead, we'll make it level 3 because nobody does level 3 dips, obviously. I've never heard of that. And also,
Mhm.
this wouldn't be a problem if we simply put the strongest features from a subclass not at level 3.
yeah.
But that would take effort. So instead, let's just try to standardize it, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Anyway.
so Aberrant Mind, psionic spells can no longer be replaced with divination or enchantment spells from sorcerer, warlock, or wizard spell list. Telepathic speech is now more resilient. It does not drop if you are incapacitated or dead. Okay.
That's so funny.
I psionic
Wait, wait, wait,
sorcery
wait.
no
Bro, I'm
longer.
dead. I'm dead. Help me.
Wait. Let me read what
that
that
makes no
does because it
sense.
sounds really dumb. You can form a telepathic connection between your mind and the mind of another. As a bonus action, choose one creature. You can speak telepathically. Okay, yeah, no, it is as
Why?
stupid as it sounds.
So if
It
you're
does
dead,
literally
you
nothing.
can't
Calm
talk
down,
in
someone help
somebody's
me.
brain.
It
I'm
literally
down.
does nothing.
Also, Taryn, you skipped the very important flavor text that came before the subclass descriptions.
Aberrant Mind saw some minor changes.
That's
No,
not the
what?
one. The very important, very
Before the
funny
bullet
dragon
point.
joke.
I
that
it's
they
in
made
the
don't wanna read
parentheses,
very
that.
hard
Taryn. No, you
on.
have to. It's very
You
important.
have to read it.
You have to read it.
It's
Aw.
essential.
It's the rule. We've been doing it that way for now. So
If you won't read it, I'll read it.
Why'd
Okay,
you
go
give him
for
that
it.
out? What?
because this shows everyone that Terran is a coward. Aberrant
Yes.
Mind and Clockwork Sorcery were largely unchanged from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Wild Magic was only slightly altered, and Draconic Sorcery was given a breath of new life. Get it? Because dragons. Oh, never mind.
I hate the writers at Wizards so much.
Nay, I shan't say it. I shan't.
They didn't even
Okay.
say, like, breathe fire. They just said breathe. Motherfucker, everyone breathes.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, sorry, Levi.
Oops.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, last change to Aberrant Mind, Psionic Sorcery no longer affects material components that have a specified cost. I don't know what Aberrant Mind does, so
It's the psychic subclass.
yeah, I know that, but I
So
don't
this
know
is
the
what
specific-
Psionic Sorcery does. When you cast
Yeah.
any spell of first level or higher from your Psionic spell feature, you can cast it by expending a spell slot as normal or by spending a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level. If you cast a spell using sorcery points, it requires no verbal or somatic components and requires no material components unless they are consumed by the spell. So now
Okay,
that
so
has
that
been
was a straight buff.
changed. Yeah, now that has been changed so that you can just cast them without material components even if they cost something.
Okay, that's cool. That is a good change.
That's
How it probably
pretty
should have
strong.
been.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, Clockwork Sorcery only underwent 2 changes from Tasha's. Clockwork spells can no longer be replaced with abjuration or transmutation spells from the Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard spell list. Restore Balance is now tied to your Charisma modifier instead of your Proficiency bonus. Okay, I guess.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
It is a buff up until your proficiency bonus surpasses your charisma modifier.
Which it will
It-
only ever do by 1 point.
Yes, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's nothing. I guess it's just getting it to a higher level faster, assuming that you can get your charisma modifier up quickly.
those
Draconic...
are the 2 new ones though, so they weren't going to change much anyway.
Yeah, no. Draconic Sorcery. This iconic sorcerer subclass has been significantly improved, granting
we'll
you
be the
new
judge of that.
spells and stronger, more dragon-like features.
Yeah.
You gain 10 additional spells as you level up,
Dang.
including Command, Fear, Charm Monster, and Legend Lore. Why Legend Lore?
Because they're dragons.
Dragon.
They're
Oh.
old and ancient and they know things.
Okay. That's whatever.
I actually don't mind that for a flavor
I
thing. That's
love
kind of
Legend
cool.
Lore.
Me
That's my
too.
Legend Lore is
favorite.
cool. It's just
It's a good
okay.
spell. That's kind of cool to include as a dragon thing.
Draconic Resilience's new AC calculation includes your charisma modifier, so you get 10 plus dex plus charisma
Please.
as an
Please,
AC.
Wizards, let me do
That's-
this.
Awesome.
Wizards, please let me get rid of the thing that says you can only benefit from one. I want to be a monk barbarian, blade singer, draconic sorcery, so that way I get my dex plus my con plus my wisdom plus
Get
my
all of
intelligence
them.
plus
That
my
would be
charisma.
so funny.
I don't
The
think there is
most
one for
mad
strength.
character to ever exist.
Yeah, there's not one
Mhm.
for
You're
strength.
gonna
but
outdo TJ.
It's literally gonna be, you're not gonna be able to put enough points in everything, so it's gonna work out exactly the same because it's gonna be like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 versus 5 plus
Well,
Plus
5.
2. Plus
Very
1.
True,
Plus 1.
but I'm gonna make you like cry all over whenever I get like a potion that's like put all your stats to 20 for 1 minute.
True. Put any stat that is above 13 to
Yeah.
20 for 1 minute.
All of them are 12.
True. Suddenly I have a plus. What would that be? That'd be a plus 20 to AC. Because you get 4 from each.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. So, new capstone feature, Dragon Companion, allows you to cast Summon Dragon, soon to be formerly known as Summon Draconic Spirit, once per day without using a spell slot, material components, or concentration. I don't think that that's a capstone feature, but it's okay, I
Well,
guess.
we don't know
Pretty alright.
if they've
They
changed
might
that
have
spell,
changed the
though,
spell.
drastically.
True, they may,
Yes.
they may have
They
fixed
might
it.
just be drawing a comparison to it because that's
Yeah.
that's a 5th level spell as the capstone feature for a subclass.
But for free.
And you don't have to
But-
concentrate on it.
Yeah, the no
Concentrate's not
concentration
bad.
is actually pretty cool on a
Yeah.
conjuration spell, but yeah,
I
okay.
don't know. I just wish that the Draconic Sorcery one made you feel like a dragon more than
Mhm.
being like, watch this! My
Mhm.
baby pet dragon! Go get him!
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's my dad,
Uh,
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just ignore that he's like 5 feet tall exactly.
I think that the command and the fear and the legend lore was going in the right direction
Yes.
of having
yeah.
the dragon vibe. I
were
actually
cooking on
really
that.
do like that.
And the new
Mhm.
AC as well. And this other one,
Yes,
it's
that is
fine.
cool.
I just
Yeah,
don't
I
like
just-
it as a capstone.
Okay. Wild Magic Sorcery. Wild Magic Surge is now trigger on a 20 instead of a 1.
Funny.
See,
That's
I don't
funny.
like that
Imagine playing like that.
because I think they should have made it both
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should
and not
have.
one or the other.
I don't yeah.
Just also do the funny of not rolling for it and just making it happen regardless, but still.
True, you could just do that, which I'm pretty sure is. I mean, that's kind of
That's-
baked into the class with how the features work. So
Yeah. Okay. And the Wild Magic Surge table has been reorganized, but its effects are all familiar. So they've just reorganized what is where on the table. The Wild Magic Surge table has undergone quite the makeover, organizing similar effects into their own mini rollable tables.
interesting.
Okay.
We'll have to see about
Read
that.
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna have to see. I'm
parentheses.
gonna have to
Yeah.
see this wild magic sorcery table.
Don't worry, you can still be transformed into a potted plant. So funny. Okay, casting a spell. Oh, casting a spell after using Tides of Chaos now automatically triggers a wild
Hey,
magic
there you
surge.
go.
Kind of cool.
That's
Like
cool.
that.
Yeah, that's fun. Ben Luck costs 1 sorcery point instead of 2.
Like
Huge.
that.
New subclass capstone feature, Tamed Surges, allows you to trigger a wild magic surge effect of your choice once per day.
I'd have
Wow.
to see the tables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do want to
You'd
see
have
the
to see what you're
table.
working with.
But
Although
that is cool.
Value.
Yeah, I do like what they've done with this one actually.
Mhm.
Because I mean we've talked
Right.
about it all the time. All they need to do with Wild Magic Sorcerer is just make that table happen more often,
Yes.
That's the fun of the subclass.
and it seems like that's what they did.
I will tell you, I am mildly disappointed so far because one thing I thought would have been cool, which I guess they're going to bake it into the core class, but the innate sorcery I thought would have been dope sick AF had it differed based on your subclass.
That would
Like
be cool.
it does something cool and more based on your subclass. Like a capstone each time is while you're in your innate or when you're in your what is it called again? do they
Innate
call the
sorcery.
What is you just surge in magical power. Okay,
Big
while
mode.
you're in that state, yeah, when you're in big mode, as a wild magic sorcerer, maybe you trigger a wild magic surge every round, regardless of what you do.
Ooh.
Draconic
be cool.
sorcery, I don't know, maybe you have like an aura of your preferred dragon type around you, so like fire, acid, poison, something. I don't know, but that's what I was hoping, but that's not what we got, so oh well.
Okay, kind of tangentially related question. I'm thinking about the subclass thing still. If
Mhm.
they're that bent out of shape about everybody getting their subclasses at the same time, why don't they implement something like the bifurcated subclass features for Warlock for like everybody?
We've been over this, Jordan. Too much work.
Well, in a hypothetical universe where the paycheck thieves actually do their jobs, I
And then the
feel like
game would
that
be
could
perfect. Then the
interesting.
game.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they got rid of the Warlock, which I have never been a proponent of the idea that Warlock 5e has 2 subclasses. I think that's a misnomer in the
Mm-mm.
first place.
It is a misnomer. I just think it's interesting because the level of customizability that you have
Yeah.
with the 5e Warlock, I think, is very interesting and very different.
I think it's
From
something they
every
should try
other
to do with all the
class.
classes.
Yes, I don't know
Mhm.
why you don't have more customizable features as you go through. So, like, why wouldn't you split those features? If you're that worried
Mhm.
about people being too OP at different levels, there's your solution.
They just, the easiest solution is simply to put your powerful features further into the class or subclass
That
instead of at
too.
level 2, 3, or 1.
Yeah.
Then you won't have people taking dips. If the best power up is at level 7 or even level 10, the best they can do is a 10 or 13, like 7 dip. That's all they can do. At which point, that's not even a dip. That's just an actual true blue multi-class.
Yeah, that's just a multi-class.
Okay.
But That's how you get Kazumas when you make them all at level 1, 2,
True.
Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's reading next?
It's my turn.
Yeah, I just
Taryn.
figured we'd go in the order
Okay.
we were in.
Sorceress Restoration at level 5. Once per day, you can regain expended sorcery points equal to half your sorcerer level, rounded down, on a short rest. Now, when the party warlock asks for a short rest, you'll get a little something out of it too. Consider when you use this feature and how to strategically manage your sorcery points. It's just telling you on how to use this feature is the rest of this.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yeah.
For
about that.
example, let's say you're level 10 and you have 8 sorcery points remaining. If your party is taking a short rest before concentrating on a boss, you can regain up to 5 sorcerer's points for your sorcerer's restoration. Before taking that short rest and using this feature, consider using Font of Magic to recover 3 sorcery points into a level 2 spell slot. This way, you'll be able to fight the boss with all 10 of your sorcery points, but you'll also have an extra level 2 slot.
I don't need to hear that. I know how to play the game. I will use it.
I've read my class features.
That's fine. That's okay. It's all right. For a level 5 feature, I'd even say that's good. For a level 5 feature, I'd even say that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not late. It's not too strong. Yeah.
Perfect for a level 5 dip.
Yes.
Yep, there you go.
Level 5 dip, aka Chaw. All right.
Well, Sorcery Incarnate is your level 7. Sorry, I read ahead, and it's just really funny to me what happens after this. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorcery Incarnate is your level 7 ability. And sorcery, innate sorcery, wasn't even your final form.
I hate millennials.
I hate it here.
With Sorcery Incarnate, you can regain a use of innate sorcery by spending 2 sorcery points. In addition, innate sorcery now allows you to use up to 2 meta magic options on each spell. Fighting 2 powerful foes, cast a twinned and heightened hold monster to set your paladins and rogues up for critical hits. Sticking to
will
long
succeed to
range, reach for a quicken and distant blindness deafness on an enemy 60 feet away, and then follow it up with a firebolt. Yeah. Good old firebolt.
I mean, meta magic isn't that good, but I like that they're allowing you to do it more than once. This encourages the sorcerer not. This does not make it to where the meta magic adept feat is just better than being a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they can
Because
do
for a while it
more.
was.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but it gives you more options, so I'll take it.
Okay.
There's times when you might want to use subtle and distant, for example.
But you know, that's all the pre-level 10 features. So now we really get into the meat and potatoes of the subclass.
Yeah.
Well, the class. This is a subclass,
Mhm.
sorry. But now we've got all the stuff that's 10 to 20.
Yeah, all
go
that really
through.
strong, tough game stuff.
The nice
Jordan,
stuff.
get us started on the next one.
Epic Boon, level 19.
What?
What happened?
They don't get anything.
They don't get anything.
What did I say
They did-
earlier? The
They did
sorcerer-
absolutely nothing
They didn't do
for
anything.
over half
Uh,
of the entire
The
class.
sorcerer is if you don't have a class, but you get magic. That's
Now
what
I'm
it is.
assuming I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
assuming what this means is that it's just keeping all of the stuff that it had before that at those levels.
I believe so.
Yes.
So, but
You would
still,
hope.
that is also to say, yeah, Sorcerer was perfect. Like the second half of Sorcerer was perfect, guys. It was so good. It needed no changes whatsoever.
Hey, Levi. I'm looking. They don't get anything.
They don't?
No.
Wait, what?
They get meta magic, as already previously mentioned, at level 10 and 17. And that's it. Well, ASIs.
Yeah, they get ASIs and subclass features.
No.
Level
Wait, that was just
15
always the case?
Big
Yeah.
psych right
Yes.
Level
None
15,
of us have played
13,
Sorcerer.
11, 9, they get nothing. At level 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18, all they get is either ASI or
Wizards.
meta magic or subclass features.
Wizards.
now. Why does anybody play this
No
dumbass class?
feature.
Wizards.
No class
Wizards,
feature.
listen to me.
Mhm.
Wizards, listen to me. You had the opportunity to make so many people so happy by giving the sorcerer another half of a class.
features.
You
No,
wouldn't have
gotta-
even had. You could have gotten literal points for doing anything because there was nothing beforehand. So at least you trying would have been something.
Mm-mm.
But no.
Perfect. It doesn't need anything. It's set. It's good.
Bare minimum, y'all.
Between, just so that you're all understanding this without looking at it, between the levels of 7 and 19, 12 levels, there is no content for base sorcerer class. There might be subclass stuff. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
but usually also the subclass stuff is like happens once every 4 levels. So
Yeah.
like maybe two subclass things happen in that
Mhm,
area
mhm.
of
Actually,
12
exactly
levels.
that many.
That's
Wait, no, 3.
ridiculous. That's crazy. I wasn't even aware that's how it already worked in 5e.
Me either,
Yeah,
because
because
none of
nobody
us have
plays
ever played that
sorcerers.
long.
I was just thinking like that would be ridiculous if that's how it already worked in regular 5e,
Can
right?
you imagine?
Granted, that is also the way that it works for wizards, but it's different there
Well, but
because
wizards get
wizards just get
spells.
spells, and
They
that's
just get
their
all
class
the
features.
spells.
Okay. Well, Jordan,
Anyway.
go ahead and read their recommended
Epic
boon,
boon.
I guess.
Level 19. Time to select an epic boon, blah, blah, blah. The recommended boon for Sorcerer is Boon of Dimensional Travel. Increase one ability score by 1, which is the standard at this point, maximum of 30. And immediately after you take the attack or magic action, you can teleport up to 30 feet. So you get Misty Step with
For free.
your spell casting.
For free.
Which is, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like,
True, that is what it is, yes.
it's
Mhm.
Misty Step.
Yeah,
Which
that's
it's
cool.
nice because it
I
basically
do
means
like
you'll
Misty
probably
Step.
never get hit by any targeted attacks ever
Yes.
because you can always be away from people
Mhm.
all the time.
Which I'm wondering, we remember what the rogue got. The rogue didn't get, the rogue had double up with somebody else, and I can't remember what feature it was. That'd be pretty slick for a rogue because it's an
True.
attack or a magic action.
True.
Yeah.
So you can smack somebody and
You
then
can
just
sneak
leave.
attack, run away. I can
Mhm.
dash, it's
Mhm.
okay, except none of that last part that I just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't attack because you didn't hit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't say you have to hit. It says when you take the attack or
It's just
magic action.
attack.
So actually, yeah, even if you miss, then you're not stuck there.
So when
That's
I
nice.
inevitably miss and then just make the person mad, I can leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it
Level-
does, unlike many of the other classes, this one does have a level 20 feature and not just epic boon.
It does.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so Arcane Apotheosis, level 20. When your innate sorcery is active, you can use 1 meta magic option per turn without expending sorcery points. That's it. That is the entire feature.
Oh, and it's per turn too. So if you use 2, it still costs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
they give you a little snippet. It says if you're using multiple on a turn, be sure to use the most expensive one for free.
I think the highest cost one that they have is 2.
2 is more than 1.
Wizards just stay fucking up.
Oh. This feature also grants you more strategic flexibility. For
That's-
example, if you're headed into an important battle and low on spells, you might normally hesitate to spend sorcery points to create new slots because you want to use meta magic during the upcoming fight.
Okay.
But if you know that Arcane Apotheosis will allow you to use meta magic for free, you might use more freedom. You might have more freedom to use your sorcery points to enable you to cast spells.
crazy that they came out with a really interesting and possibly good feature, innate sorcery at level 1, and then said, and we're not going to build on it anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They
At
didn't
all.
even raise the bonus to save DC
Nope.
once.
Nor
Nope.
did they increase the amount of times you can use it per long rest
It's
Nope.
only 2.
from level 1 to 20.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ah,
my conclusion: sorcerers stay losing.
Yep.
Sorcerers stay losing is my conclusion from this. It's
See?
Once again, we have an example of like they had some good ideas. There were some interesting concepts in this. It was just tempered by the absolute horseshit garbage that they keep putting out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
and everyone in the comments seems to be really happy once again.
True.
Yeah,
Seem to
because
like it.
they
There was one guy who said, "Anyways, Ranger, never forget."
True. Still
Rest
got
in
the worst
pieces.
deal. These
The
are all
worst
amazing
subclass
changes.
revision possibly in the history of subclass revisions or in class revision. I keep forgetting that these are not subclasses. These are
No,
just
they're just
the whole class.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they're not called Sorcerers of the Coast.
Mhm.
So true.
Well, ole, 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 ole.
We don't have any ending post comments. That's it. We're all just
I'm
so
depressed.
I'm just
disappointed.
sad.
I'm just frustrated. I keep getting my hopes up that something will get better, and I
Well,
just
it's
keep
a
getting
freaking
smacked.
roller
Guys,
coaster because some of them are good.
We've
I
still
know.
got Bard, guys.
We're
It's
gonna be
not
mad
gonna
at
be
that for a
good.
whole other reason.
Yeah, true. It's gonna be too good. Bards of the Coast.
We've just decided to leave Bard completely unchanged. It was our perfect child, and we didn't want to
Listen,
do anything
You
to it.
can't spell wizards without Bard as long as you put a silent B in wizard.
Blizzard.
I was gonna put it in the middle like Wizbard. Wibzard.
I like
I
Wibzard.
like Wizard.
Wibzard.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see y'all again with Bard next week. Bye bye. What? Oh, goal because Sorcerer and
Soccer.
because
Soccer.
Jordan one
Yeah.
time said soccer when
Slip of the
referring
tongue.
to.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!